Hello mathematicians, welcome back to Number Corner. For Number Corner today, we will be adding to our base 10 bank. To show your thinking today, you will need your whiteboard, marker, and eraser. You can use a piece of paper and a pencil if you don't have a whiteboard. You can pause the video now to get what you need. Now, when we update the base 10 bank today, we'll be using the same pieces. We'll be using a hundreds mat, if we need it, our 10 strips, and our ones pieces. We will use our 2 spinners to figure out how many rectangles to deposit. The spinner that's numbered 1 through 6 will tell us how many 10s we need. And the spinner that's numbered 4 through 9 will tell us how many 1s we need. Once we know what to deposit, we will put the rectangles in the bottom pockets. Before we spin our spinners today, let's look back at our bank and see how much we have in there already. Looking at our bank, what number are we starting with today? How many squares do we have already? Show a connection if you count 45 squares. Good, we have our 4 10 strips and our 5 ones to show our 45. Now let's go to our spinners to see what we'll be adding into our bank. Now here's our 1 through 6 spinner that will show us how many 10s to add. Let's spin. We will be adding 5 10s. Now remember, we put our hundreds mats on the left, our 10 strips in the middle, and our ones pieces on the right. Count with me as I grab our 5 10 strips. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's go back to our spinner and see how many ones we need. For our ones, we use our spinner that goes from 4 to 9. Let's spin. We will be adding 9 ones. Count with me as I grab our ones pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How many pieces are we adding to our bank on the bottom? Now with our 10s pieces and our ones pieces, we all together are adding 59 more pieces. I'm going to write that number over here under the number 45 to show that we'll be adding the 2 numbers together. Now I want you to look at all of our pieces all together. How many pieces do we have? You can use your whiteboard to show your thinking as you add the pieces together. Remember, you can make sketches of your base 10 pieces to help you sort through your thinking. You might be doing this in your head too. How many pieces did you count? Show a connection if you counted 145 4 pieces. How did you find that out? Now you may have done this in a few different ways. You may have looked at your tens pieces and counted that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 all together. Well, that gives us 90. You may have counted your ones pieces to know that we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the bottom. One more from the top gives us 10, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 left to give us 14. You may have added 90 plus 14, knowing that 90 plus 10 is 100, plus 4 more is 104. You may have done this in a different way. You may have looked at our equation and looked at the tens and the ones. We can see that we have 4 tens and 5 ones. You may know that if you put those together, you'll have 90. Then you may have looked at your ones to see that you can add one more to the 9 to make it 10. With your 4 left, you have 14. And then you may have added 90 plus 14, like in the other strategy, knowing that 10 more onto 90 equals 100, plus 4 more is 104. There are different ways to find the answer. Now that we know how many pieces we have all together, we can move all of our pieces up to the top row. Let's move them up. How many 10 strips do I have in the top row? That's right, we have 9. How many ones pieces do I have in the top row? Show a connection if you counted 14. Is this showing us the number 104? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Not really. You should be giving me a thumbs down. Any ideas on what you think we have to do to make this look more correct? Well, if you are thinking we can't have more than 10 ones in the ones place, because that makes it a 2-digit number, and that doesn't fit in the ones place, well, that's really good thinking. So what should I do? If you're thinking we could take 10 away and make it a 10 strip, well, that's really good thinking. Let's do that. Now that I've taken my 10 ones and made them a 10 strip, how many 10s do I have and how many ones do I have? Well, I have 10 strips and 4 ones. Is this showing me 104? Yeah, I hope you're giving me a thumbs up. This is showing me 104. But could I move my 10s? What's another way to say 10 10s? If you're thinking 100, well, that's really good thinking. Instead of having my 10s in 10 strips over here, well, I can move them over with a hundreds mat. And now I need to take these 10s and get rid of them. Because I really just moved them over here, I didn't get rid of them. I just moved them to show that now we have 100. And if I have 100 plus 4, well, I really have 104. Your job today, to show your teacher your hard work, is to go into Seesaw and tell your teacher our new total in our base 10s bank of 104. And I'll see you next time for Number Corner.